Thanks for joining us for the news at 10. More than an hour of testimony ended in a party line vote. Senate Bill 1100 aims to segregate bathrooms in Idaho schools by biological sex. The bill now moves to the full Senate floor. Our Andrew Bartline followed testimony in the Senate Education Committee today. And Andrew, you heard from both sides in this debate.
Yeah, and this is just the latest chapter in what is kind of becoming an ongoing discussion in the state, and from the Idaho school boards considering or adopting policies and allowing transgender students to use the bathroom of their choice. Well, this Senate Bill 1100, would override those local policies and strictly separate facilities by biological sex. For an hour and a half, Idahoans hit the podium to promote their perspective to the Senate Education Committee.
It's taking us back to separate but equal.
Amelia Connolly is transgender. She opposes S 1100.
That is what that feels like exactly.
But Republican bill sponsor Ben Adams says the bill protects Idaho students' privacy. The bill would require Idaho school districts to separate boys and girls' bathrooms and locker rooms by biological sex. Testimony overwhelmingly supported the bill, citing out-of-state examples of men sneaking into women's bathrooms.
We can't let a similar scenario happen in any girls' or boys' locker room or bathroom in any of our public schools here in Idaho.
Why do we have to wait for somebody to be injured or hurt or raped before we implement a law?
The bill is the latest step in an ongoing discussion through the state. The Caldwell School Board abruptly shut down a January board meeting once the community got out of hand. This was the reaction to Caldwell even considering a policy to allow transgender students to use the bathroom of their choice. And some Idaho school districts do allow that. However, Senate Bill 1100 would override those policies, making it illegal. Stephen Kaiser testified in support of the bill.
And they want to be accepted for their psychological gender that they really believe is the real them.
Kaiser says he supports everyone for who they are, but not at the potential expense of others.
The school's going to be responsible to make sure about the comfort level of a child on any side of this equation.
The bill allows accommodations, however, it does not say what that accommodation would be.
It's like a punch in the gut, and I don't say that as a figure of speech. It feels like that.
And it feels targeting, because the bill has a civil enforcement clause.
Yes, it's...
Because if you spot someone and they're in the wrong bathroom, you can sue the district for $5 grand.
When I, transitioned, I knew there was going to be challenges, but there's a lot of people who would sell us out for $5,000 even if they weren't really bothered.
Exceptions exist for this bill as well. An example would be a male janitor going into a women's restroom to clean, or vice versa, and medical emergencies. No person or school district would be in trouble for that under this proposed law. Both Democrats in that committee did oppose this bill. It got through on a 6-2 vote. Again, that was a party line vote, Morgan. Now moves to the full Senate floor.
And then they'll debate it, and then what from there?
Well, if it passes the Senate floor, then it would then go into a committee on the House side, and then the process, same thing in the House. So just a step closer to becoming a law, and it's making its way through the State House.
All right, we'll continue to follow it. Andrew Bartline, appreciate you. Thank you.